played MLB The Show for 16 straight hours, 20 ranked seasons games. This was an excessively long grind. Some of these games are bonkers. The waves that we ride are insane. Starting at 776 with a 31-8 record, Chris Sale, the conductor, is going to be on the mound in game one. If you're new to Pack Squads, the rules are in the description box down below. There's also a playlist. You can watch all these videos in order, get caught up. Game number one, we're on the road against Parallel 5, Bob Gibson. 2 count in the second inning to start things off, and Jorge Posada hits a no-doubter in the 5-hole here in game number one. Take note of that for later in the video. He gives us a 1-0 lead, and then our opponent has a quick second inning. He decides to quit just like that. So we go 1-0 to start things off in the matter of 2 innings. Chris Sale goes up to Parallel 1. We get a Championship Series reward pack. It gets our rating up over 800 to 804. And we're going to open that Championship Series pack a little bit later, and I do want to note, just like any other Pack Squads episode, when we win, we unlock a Diamond Premium pack. But since we play so many games on these montage runs, we don't always use one. We can even use a program spin as a diamond reward if we want to, which is what we did after our first game. We spun the program wheel and we ended up getting the Tim Hill Incognito card from the Incognito program. So we're adding Tim Jim to our bullpen heading into game two. And in game two, we're once again going to be facing Parallel 5, Bob Gibson. I cannot escape that guy. I had to get Otani out of this one in the third. We were having location issues. Tim Hill comes out, and he also having location issues here. I can't seem to hit a corner. 3-1 count. He hits a homer with Josh Donaldson. Incognito versus Incognito. Fourth, Ellie De La Cruz is going to spark a rally. Gets a ground ball to go through the other way. Julio Rodriguez, perfect. It was almost caught. So at least we moved the runner up in the scoring position, because with 2 outs, Lou Gehrig's going to barrel up a baseball. That's going to tie the ball game at 1, puts another runner in scoring position, but we don't end up cashing in on it. Just stays at 1, and as you know, we give it right back. Whenever we get one, we always give it right back. It's my trademark. Right after we tie the game, we immediately go down 2. Mariano Rivera is going to come out of the bullpen now. 0-2 count to Julio Rodriguez, and we're going to give up a 3-run shot. Just not locating at all in that at-bat. We were lucky it was even 0-2, and we couldn't put him away. Once again, Ellie De La Cruz with a single. He's a spark plug. Bryce Harper follows that up with a moonshot. And bottom 7, we lead things off with a Jorge Posada knock. Another big hit from Jorge Posada. Luis Ariz, the supercharged Luis Ariz in the lineup. He's going to split the gap. Won't be able to get 2 with Luis, but we'll go first to third. Then Otani comes up. 105 out to right. Almost got ourselves in trouble on the base paths. Thankfully, he had to pump. Ends up getting it to second late. We're not out. We score a run there, and then we take a walk with Vlad. That's going to load the bases with 1 out for Ellie. And come on. No one better to come to the plate right there than Ellie De La Cruz. Down 1, bases loaded in the 7th. We're going to cash in 2 on a double. I was having all kinds of base running issues in this ball game, but we take the lead in the 7th. We come back from down 4. And we take the lead. That's a bad strikeout right there with Bryce Harper. And then on top of it, I kind of messed up. I was not trying to like base run cheese there at all. I'm not good at that. I genuinely messed up. So we end up squandering that opportunity. He gets nothing in the top of the 8th. And then we go right back to hitting again. Jorge Posada, 490 feet out to center field. Gives us an insurance run, and we end up winning this second ball game 7-5. Pumps our rating up to 823. What a game. Really started turning it on late there. Jorge Posada is out of his mind. Next game, we're going to jump in against him. Once again, Bob Gibson. All life face. Oh! Look at that. That was Babe Ruth. Relax, Cougs. A diving play by Babe Ruth to start this ball game. We are 2-0 to start this thing off. Trying to score here in the first. That's a good changeup on Jorge Posada. And then he gets us to swing over top of the second one, and we strike out. So we had 2 runners there to start the inning. He had a diving grab with Cougs out in right field. We could not seem to bring a run around. And then in the bottom of the first, he's immediately going to make us pay for it. Driving the ball out to the outfield, brings a runner around, takes the lead. Then he gets a wild pitch down in the dirt, moves the runners up in the scoring position. And Trey Turner, once again, is just going to drill one out to left center field. Pokes it out the center. and that's a 2-run single. It's a 3-0 ball game here in the first. Elly De La Cruz in the top of the third with 1 out, annihilated. Off the bat of Elly De La Cruz gets us on the board. Can we get off and running from there? He's immediately going to hit a solo shot. I said this early. It's what I do. I got to get more than one, because if I only get one, I always give it right back. But we are also going to fire back. Jorge Posada still in the 5-hole. A nuke out to left. Makes it a 4-2 ball game. Later in the game, the 7th inning, Vlad Guerrero off Jose Alvarado. Middle innings of this game were a little bit quiet, but we're going to make things spicy here in the back half. We had a home run with Vlad, and then we strike out with Elly. Now, lefty-lefty Bryce Harper gets a 1-out base hit. That brings up Julio Rodriguez, who's going to make him pay for the lefty-lefty base knock. We were a little bit late on that, but it finds a gap, and it's going to be an RBI triple. We tie the ball game at 4, and then in the 9th, Elly De La Cruz again. He was batting .422 with 21 homers before that swing. Hits the game winner again, and we come back to win it 5-4. 3-0, a rating of 838 now. We got a wild card pack from the Rank Seasons program. We're going to take Michael Young out of this pack, and you're going to see him at some points in this video. He does get some action at second base. We slide Elly over to shortstop in a couple of games on this run. We're going to take Mike Schmidt out of the wild card pack. We're going to open an alter ego pack here post game, trying to get the rare round. We did not, but we are going to take Carlos Santana out of the base round of that pack, and he's going to get factored into our lineup. We also decided to open a chase pack from the last win since we didn't open a pack, and we just get the base round for Joe Ryan. So no diamond there out of the chase pack. We do add Carlos Santana to the lineup, and we're going to put him at third. We have Xander Bogaerts at second, Carlos Santana at third, Elly at shortstop. Going into this next game, trying to make it 4-0. We got to hit Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto versus Hunter Brown in game number 4, and he starts things. I'm sick and tired of seeing Robinson Cano. Hits a solo shot, and then this guy just has good at-bat after good at-bat after good at-bat. I cannot hit a corner to save my life. We end up walking in a run with the bases loaded, and then 3-2, 2 outs. We walk in another run, really good takes from our opponent. There was a force field around the strike zone in this one for me. We go down 3 early, then he hits a solo shot. Robinson Cano comes back up in the top of the second. That's a double. Ends up loading the bases a couple batters later. Gets a ground ball to sneak through. That's never good. Tacks on 2 more, makes it 6-0. Base hit back up the middle here. It is 8-0 in the second. Oh, I'm sorry. 9-0. It is 9-0 in the second inning. We got destroyed in game number 4. So we are 3-1 with an 821 record now on the run. It was not good. It was not good. Game number 5, we're going to jump right back into it, though. We are on the road at Costco Field. No better place to get back on the wagon offensively than Costco Field, and we didn't even have to select the stadium ourselves. They're going to get out the easy one. The weak ones are sliding over. The perfects are landing in the parking lot. It's 4-0 in the first. Make it 5-0 in the first. Carlos Santana hits an opposite field laser home run. 5 runs in the first, and then he wasn't touching. Chris Sale decided to quit. We bounce right back and get those points back immediately. Puts us at 843 on the rating scale, and we have Justin Verlander pitching in game 6. But our opponent's going to score the first run of this one. Hits a solo shot in the second inning with David Ortiz, but we get it back. None other than Jorge Posada, still in the 5-hole, ties this ball game at 1. Top 5 now, Carlos Santana with a base hit, and then Vlad Guerrero down the line. Our opponent quit right there. As soon as it went down the line, he didn't even chase after it, and he ends up quitting. We win that one 3-1. Back-to-back rage quits. We have an 860 rating now. We have like 3 diamond packs to open if we want to, and we're going with an opener in this game because we don't quite have any pitchers at full energy. Everyone's just shy. We're going to score first. We can win a bullpen game here. We're going to be sitting pretty with the staff we've put together. Carlos Santana hits another home run, gets us started. 2 outs in the second. Shohei Ohtani also going to hit a home run. Makes it 2-0. We are hammering the ball early. Our opponent does get one right back, though, because that's what we do. Get 2, give up 1. But then Elly De La Cruz in his second at-bat wants to get in on the action. 429 right center. Too many. I mean, he homers every other game, sometimes twice a game. Francisco Lindor in the 5th makes it 3-2. And then bottom 7, our opponent. Not only does he climb back, he's got the bases loaded, 1 out, Chipper Jones, but he strikes out. I thought I was sitting pretty when Chipper Jones struck out. This Moncada double into the gap here, clearing the bases, making it 6-3 in the 7th. Kind of a heartbreaker for us. We were sitting in the driver's seat of this one, and we still had time to go. We get 2 on here in the 8th with 1 out, but our Yankees, Lou Gehrig and Jorge Posada, both go down, and we have to jump into the 9th inning down by 4. Carlos Santana hits another homer, but that's all we're going to do in this one. We were feeling good in this game, and our opponent jumped on us late. A 5-run 7th inning, and we lose it 7-4. A game we probably should have won. A game we probably win 7 to 8 out of 10 times. But we absolutely blew it. And now we got to get those points back. We're in game number 8, and we got to do it against Nolan Ryan. Not only that, we got to do it against Nolan Ryan while we were down. Up until this point in the game, I could not touch him. I think we had like 6 strikeouts going into the 5th. But we get on a hanging curveball with Carlos Santana. That breaks the scoring for us. We tie the ball game, and we kind of get off and running there. Bryce Harper rips a double. Jorge Posada comes up, rips a double. He's in the 3-hole now. We made an adjustment after that last loss. We put Jorge Posada in the 3-hole, and he continues to rake. Not only that, he's sparking rallies. We end up getting a weak single to drop in with Lou Gehrig there, and we score an extra run, which, I mean, the most MLB The Show sequence ever. That single drops in for an RBI, and then the perfect fly, the line drive to center with Julio doesn't get down. It's all good, though, because in the 9th, we do get those runs back from that lineup with Julio. A 2-run shot with Lou Gehrig, followed up by a Vlad Guerrero solo shot. 0-2, 2 outs in a 9th, and you give up a no-doubter to Vlad. That's deflating. We go up 6-1 in the 9th. We just put our foot on the gas and put them away. We get 17 points back in this loss. We didn't quite climb back from the loss with that win, but we are at 855 now in the rating scale, and we have to hit Chris Sale in game number 9. And in game number 9, we are once again giving up a lot of base runners and runs early in these games. We pitched really good in the middle to late innings of these games, but we're giving up a lot of runs in the first. We were managing with runners on and not having too many blow-up innings. We had that one game where we got smoked, but for the most part, we've worked around these jams. We just left 2 runners on there in the top of the first after giving up a run, and then we immediately get that run back with Julio Rodriguez, a perfect nuke. Now, 2 runners on here to start the 4th. I was putting this bunt down just to move the runners up. This was a genuine move the runners up and get Jorge Posada back in there, who I slid back down to the 5-hole. We shook the lineup up once again, and he once again comes up in a big spot. There's just everywhere he goes in the lineup, it's finding big spots. He gets a sacrifice fly there, and then Carlos Santana hits a 3-run shot. He was trying to bury a sinker there and get a double play, and he threw it right down the middle. Carlos Santana has 5 home runs in 4 games since we picked him up. An absolute beast. Makes it a 5-2 game, and then we just rolled from there. Elly De La Cruz gets his 24th of the season, 7-2 into the bottom of the 5th now. Julio Rodriguez is going to get one, makes it 8-2, and that's where our opponent just couldn't quite. The mountain was too steep. He did throw a couple on in the 7th and the 9th, made it an 8-5 ball game. But we win it once again, and then after that game, our guy Shohei Ohtani goes parallel 5, and Elly De La Cruz goes parallel 4. I feel obligated to keep him at parallel 4 just because of the card art. Also after the game, Juan Soto went supercharged. I realized that he had gone supercharged, so we threw supercharged Juan Soto in the lineup. Elly De La Cruz, parallel 4. Stats are looking insane. We're hitting with any version of him. 38-10 in championship series. We have now climbed as high as we've been. 872 in 9 games. We've played pretty well. We could pitch a bit better. We got destroyed once, but we've been rolling pretty good. Jorge Posada's been big. Juan Soto in the lineup for the first time. Lefty on Randy Johnson. First at bat in the lineup. Live series, Juan Soto gives us the lead. Then Chris Sale, bottom of the 2nd. I just keep doing it, man. I keep doing it. You already know it's coming. We walk in a run after taking the lead. Chris Sale just could not find a corner. We do get 2 strikeouts back-to-back after we walk in that run, but I could not find a corner when the bases first loaded up. Here's your first Michael Young at bat. gets a base hit in the third. So we end up running for Michael Young, get 99 speed on first base, and it works out perfectly. We get one in the gap with Ellie De La Cruz, and we score from first base on the double. We're going to keep the scoring going here in the top of the fourth. Julio Rodriguez crushed. 105 out of the left center, 444. 3-1 ball game. Juan Soto now. 0-2 count. He threw a fast. Trying to challenge us. 0-2. It's a guy that's already taken you deep. Juan gets his second of the game. And then Carlos Santana gets his 6th home run in 5 games. An opposite field homer just forces another rage quit. And we're now at 889 on the rating scale. We got another championship series pack from the ranked seasons program. So we now have Cliff Lee and Mike Schmidt in our inventory, and that program is up to 86 stars, which means very soon here we're going to unlock a free World Series reward choice pack before we even get in World Series. Can we get Nolan Ryan +1? Can we get both packs in one game? I am once again facing Bob Gibson, and lo and behold, the 7th inning of a pitcher's duel between Justin Verlander and Bob Gibson. We give up the first strike. He goes yard on a solo shot. He ends up getting a second run in the top of the 9th, and we could not overcome it. We get 2 hit in this game. He was dicing me up with Bob Gibson, and it kind of threw me into a little bit of a funk. So we lose this game. Tim Hill goes parallel 1. Our rating is back down to 668 after that loss. And look at this. Again, we are facing parallel 5. Bob Gibson. Perfect to dead center from Bryce Harper. Does get the scoring going in the first, though we have a lead. We have Max Fried on the mound, and Max Fried's giving up blue guy. I mean, that's how we give it right back. Jorge Posada, though. 5-hole Jorge Posada gives us our lead back. And then bottom 5, we give up a granny. I am just the worst. We give up a granny, makes it a 5-2 game. Then we give up another home run, makes it a 6-2 game. We end up losing that one 6-2. We have now lost 2 in a row after being just 1 game from making World Series. We've got to go on a run now. We've got a ladder to climb. We've put ourselves in a hole after being on the doorstep. Jorge Posada again. We moved him back up into the 3-hole, and he's kind of been the star of this video. A solo shot, a nuke. I don't even have to. We're going to skip. We're going to act like it didn't even happen. We gave the run right back. Jorge Posada again. 2nd homer of the game for Jorge Posada. Gives us the lead back. And then finally, someone else on the team steps up. It's been a couple games. Julio Rodriguez extends the lead, and we needed it because we end up winning this one 4-3. A big bounce back win against a good opponent. That guy was good, and it was a huge win too because he was a good opponent who was lower than us in the rating scale. We could not afford to lose to that man. We needed that win. We get our free World Series pack from the program. This is just from the PXP, just playing through ranked seasons this season. So we're going to add Nolan Ryan to our starting rotation post-game. And then once again, I try and open one of these packs just to try and add someone to the team. We hit the base round, though, so we're going to throw another reliever in the pen. We got Scoots in the bullpen. And in the top of the first, we have Jorge Posada hitting perfect home runs. He's got 471 feet. Nolan Ryan dominant to start his debut, and he's got a lead to work with. We did not give this lead up right away. We're still up 1 in the 5th, but this is where we start to miss our spots a little bit. A 1-out walk followed up by a base hit, and then Chase Utley strikes out on the changeup, and that got me a little confident because we threw a first pitch fastball to Carlos Santana, and he hit it over the scoreboard. You'd think I know better. 3-1 ball game in the 6th now. Bryce Harper with a base hit, and then Jorge Posada with a perfect lineup. He was due for some tough luck, but that was bad timing. We did follow it up, though. 1 out, 0-2 count, Juan Soto kissing goodbye. It just sneaks over the high wall, and we tie it up at 3s. Now with Julio Rodriguez on first base, Lou Gehrig with 1 out, rips one to center. And in the matter of just a handful of at-bats, we go from down 2 to up 2, and then Carlos Santana does it again. He's homered for both teams, and he forces another rage quit. Another bout with 2 wins in a row after losing 2 in a row. Our rating is back up to 885, 41-12. 885, just 4 points below our highest rating. If we win this game, there's a good shot we make World Series, and we are going to take the lead in the 4th. Shohei Ohtani versus Juan Soto. Juan Soto wins the battle, but sadly, that's all the offense that we would get in this game, and we give up a pretty soft homer to Francisco Lindor. We actually lost this game, and our opponent only he only had 1 hard contact. You hate to see it. I just absolutely folded against a guy again that I probably beat 8 out of 10 times, just like the last loss. I just choked when we were 1 game out. That's unfortunate. We have been 1 game from World Series twice, and we have 4 hits in 2 games combined. Game number 16, it's Justin Verlander versus Randy Johnson and Shohei Ohtani. Lefty, lefty. We get a Shohei Ohtani appearance in this video. He has not hit particularly well on this run. He gives us the lead, which we immediately give up. We go from up 1 to tied, but we do escape that jam. We did not give up the lead. It's just tied, and Carlos Santana has suddenly turned into our best player. This man has 7 home runs. An opposite field homer gives us the lead back, and we sneak that one out 2-1. Only 12 hits total in that game between the 2 of us. Gets our rating back to 883. And here's where things are going to get bananas. To get into World Series, top of the 1st, runner on, perfect single. Now there's 2 on, we take a walk. Juan Soto, bases loaded, nobody out, grand slam. We start this game with a grand slam, and then in the 3rd, we're going to throw some seasonings on there. But look at this. Look at this. I, like a dummy, did not have my settings set up to force updates or wait. You can set it up to where these updates don't kick in until you're offline. As you know, we just started doing pack squads on Xbox like a week or 2 ago. And this is the first update, and for whatever reason, the game decided that right now, while I was up 7-0 in my World Series game, was the time that we needed to do an update. So I lost that game, and it was just devastating sliding over and seeing that 14th loss. Our rating dropped all the way to 856. Our opponent was rated lower than us. We were winning 7-0, and Kershaw gets the loss. Now, again, we've got to win multiple games in a row. It's got Snapdragon Lance McCullers on the mound in Oracle Park. Looking like could be another pitcher's duel. Tough to score in this ballpark. We get on the board first. Julio Rodriguez, dead center. It's 1-0 in game number 18. Murakami, we giveth and we taketh away. He puts it in the water. 1-1. You know who else wants to put one in the water? Ellie De La Cruz wants to put one in the water. All the way in the 10th inning of this ball game, Ellie gets his 25th home run to give us the lead. We were not done there. After getting a base runner on, Juan Soto hits a 2-run shot. We're actually up by 4 going into the bottom of the 10th, and we're going to win this one 5-1. So again, after the loss, we got to win multiple. We have 1 loss that may result in us needing 3 straight wins if we want to get into World Series. And we're facing Parallel 5 Bob Gibson. Game number 19 against Parallel 5 Bob Gibson in Laughing Mountain. I've had enough of this guy. I've had enough of Bob Gibson. Juan Soto's had enough. Julio Rodriguez has had enough. Lou Gehrig has had enough. A moonshot. I say it again, Juan Soto has had enough. 4-0. That one was crushed, might I add. Juan Soto and Lou Gehrig both have multi-homer games here. It's just the 4th inning. We go up 5-0. Our opponent does get 1 back here, bottom 4 with 1 out. Gets 1 off Nolan Ryan, who was pitching great in this game. Somehow going to get this ball to go out with Julio Rodriguez. Don't ask. Not a good swing. We were already dominating this game when this happened. Wheels just kind of fell off on him here. We're going to get 2 more in the 7th because Jorge Posada is the greatest catcher in Diamond Dynasty history. Another one for Jorge. It is 9-4, and that is the score that we will win this game with. 9-4 victory. 19 games so far in this video. An 895 rating. We are 5 points from World Series. 2 straight wins since that DQ loss. We haven't lost straight up in quite a while. It's going to be Chris Sale versus Luis Castillo in Game 20 to make World Series, and we're starting it off with a Bryce Harper double down the line. Straight down the line for Bryce Harper, and then Jorge Posada is going to come up. Even when my swings are meh, just a hair underneath of that, it's a great pitch. Tough to time that up in on the hands, but he gets it off the wall for a double. Couple batters later, bases loaded, 1 out. Julio Rodriguez, who really stepped up in the back half of this ride. I'd say between like 850 and 900. Julio Rodriguez was huge for us. Big double right there, scores 2, and then a perfect with Lou Gehrig. Scores 2 more. We have now scored 11 unanswered runs in my last 2 games where if you win, you're in situation. We have outscored our opponents 11-0. That disconnect is going to haunt my dreams if we don't get in. The good news is, after Stan the Man gets sawed off here and grounds out to third base, our opponent's gonna call it a day. And right there, Snoopy, after the quit, we make it. 17 points, a 912 rating. We got a Future Stars pack and our World Series reward pack, where we're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up right now. We already got Nolan Ryan from the program pack for just doing the XP and stuff. So he's already on the team. We've been using him on this run. Stan Musial, Stan the Man, is going to make his Pack Squads debut. I sat here for like 17 hours. I started in the middle of the afternoon on the 8th, and I grinded until the middle of the night on the 9th to get in the World Series. This was a long, sweaty grind, but I had a ton of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Justin Verlander's got full energy. He's going to be going Game 1 of Season 3. And we are going to have a ton of packs ready to go. New Battle Royale program coming out. New ranked seasons just came out. There's new event stuff coming out soon. I'm going to unlock Craig Kimbrell, Aaron Judge Lightning. There's going to be so much fun stuff for Season 3. If you're pumped, hit that thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comment section down below. Who was your MVP for Season 2? We made World Series. Can we do it again in Season 3?
Cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my